The royal family are some of the most elite human beings on the planet. At least they are viewed in this light, and for so long they have depended on the media to uphold this narrative. Due to their royal status, there are without a doubt a ton of bizarre rules and rituals that are meant to set them apart from your average UK citizen. Today on IO, we're going to be breaking down all these strict rules that the royals must follow if they want to stay in power. But first, if you could do us a big favor and smash that like button, we'd really appreciate it. With that out of the way, let's just dive right into today's top 10. Coming in at number 10, when the Queen stands. Most of the rules we're going to be talking about today do apply to many that meet the Queen, and as the title of the video suggests, this is one rule that the rest of the royal family makes sure to follow. The origin of this rule dates back pretty much to the start of the monarchy. You see, during medieval times, monarchs were viewed as having divine status, and because of that, they had to be treated accordingly. During the medieval period, people believed that the monarchs were divinely appointed to rule by God, so as a result, they were sort of seen as gods themselves. Because of this, many of them demanded to be treated as such, which means when the Queen stands, everyone stands. Coming in at number 9, curtsy required. The curtsy, or a bow for men, is often something we see people meeting the Queen or even other royal family members taking part in. Similar to the standing rule, the curtsy is a formality meant to pay your respects to the Queen as well. This was a big topic of conversation actually in that Meghan Markle Oprah interview. Markle said that growing up she had never been exposed to these royal requirements, and so Harry actually had to teach her how to curtsy shortly before meeting his grandmother. Apparently it wasn't even until the drive over to meet the Queen that Harry thought to ask Meghan if she knew how to curtsy. Markle was shocked that the curtsy rule was something that applied to the royal family as well. She said during the interview, "I thought genuinely that was part of what happens outside. I thought that was part of the fanfare. I didn't think that that's what happens inside, and I said, it's your grandmother." He goes, "It's the Queen." Coming in number 8, the Queen leads. This one is actually kind of sweet, and I'm sure Prince Philip doesn't actually mind. However, since their marriage, Her Majesty's husband has always walked a few steps behind her at all times. The pair have been married since 1947, and believe it or not, but there is a very specific reason why he walks behind her. According to a report from Reader's Digest, whenever the royal family is part of a procession, they will enter and are seated in the order of precedence, which basically means they move in the same order as the line of succession to the throne. The order goes Queen Elizabeth II, the Duke of Edinburgh, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and so on and so forth. Now technically speaking, the Prince of Wales should rank higher than Prince Philip, but the Queen is allowed to update the order as she sees fit. Coming in number 9, marriage approval. Believe it or not, but under British law, a royal actually can't get married unless they first get permission from Her Majesty the Queen. This rule comes from the Royal Marriages Act that was first created in 1772. For nearly 250 years, the royal family have all needed to get their bid for marriage approved by the reigning monarch. According to the statute, every marriage or matrimonial contact of any such descendant without such consent first had and obtained shall be null and void to all intents and purposes whatsoever. However, in 2013, there was a slight amendment with the passing of the Succession to the Crown Act. Now, today, only the first 6 royals in line to the throne actually require the monarch's permission to validate their marriage. Coming in number 6, strict dress code. Some people dream of being a princess or a queen for all the beautiful and fancy clothes that you get to wear. However, it's not all tiaras and tea in the royal family. They also have to follow a very strict dress code and are even required to always have an all-black ensemble when they travel. Everything from dark nail polish to miniskirts are absolutely unacceptable. The royal family wants to uphold this polished look, and so because of this, everyone must dress conservatively. In the case of the all-black ensemble, this is something they plan for in the unfortunate event of the passing of a family member while traveling. Every single member of the family must always carry this with them so that they are dressed respectfully when seen in public after the announcement. Coming in number 5, no nicknames allowed. Now this one seems really particular, but again, this royal rule is put in place to show respect to other members of the royal family. Royalty are expected to be addressed by their full name, which means their given name rather than a nickname given to them by their family. Additionally, it's usually expected that they also use the royal family member's title when addressing them. For example, when William married Kate, she immediately started being referred to as Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. Imagine having to always address your wife like that. "Excuse me, Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, what do you want for dinner tonight?" Now, with that said though, there are some royals who have broken this rule since they were young. For example, Harry's given name is actually Henry, or to make it even more formal, he should be addressed as Prince Henry Charles Albert David of Windsor, but he usually just goes by Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Coming in number 4, no foreign throne sitting. When the Queen got to visit the set of Game of Thrones in Northern Ireland, she unfortunately had to pass up what could have been possibly one of the greatest photo ops in history, and it's all because of an obscure royal rule. Even though it's a fictional throne, the Queen is still never allowed to sit on a foreign throne, which is a very esoteric rule to have, but there's a reason for it. This is again an old custom that shows respect to your own throne as well as the monarch's throne that they may be presented with. Although according to actress Maisie Williams, who portrayed Arya Stark in Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne may have just been too uncomfortable. Maisie recounted that day saying, "She sort of looked at it and said, 'That doesn't look very comfortable.' And while no one really asked her to take a seat," Williams added, "we all just sort of smiled and were like, is she gonna do it?" Coming in number 3, no autographs allowed. Now this one kind of makes sense considering the fact that for security reasons alone, someone having a royal signature could do a lot of damage, especially the Queen. Usually royal family members like Kate Middleton are more than happy to greet members of the public during their royal engagements. However, if she has ever asked for an autograph, she has been known to politely decline. Prince Charles is also said to tell people that he's sorry that they don't allow him to do that. Although funny enough, Meghan Markle actually did break this rule when she signed a fan's autograph book with just a heart and a smiley face. I guess they considered that breaking the rule. Shows you how strict these are. Coming in number 2, no shellfish. Now I brought this point up before in another video, but it still blows my mind, so here it is again. Can you imagine being told what to eat? I just can't imagine being banned from eating certain foods that I want to try because of the off chance that I might get sick from whatever it is. In the case of shellfish and meat cooked rare, the royal family are warned to steer clear over fears they will be poisoned. Shellfish typically does pose a higher risk for food poisoning, but I feel like the lack of fish may only be depleting them of healthy fats and nutrients, versus, protecting them against a potential attack on their stomachs. Additionally, the royal family was advised not to eat shellfish because of the possibility of allergic reactions, which I can understand. Apparently though, Queen Elizabeth still abides by this rule, but Prince Charles on the other hand is known to enjoy shellfish every now and again. And coming in at our number 1 spot, heirs fly separate. This point here actually shocked me a bit, but when you think about the worst case scenario, I get why they would want this rule in place. This rule was first made back when jetting off in an airplane was a much more risky way to travel. Because of this, officials decided that there needed to be measures in place just on the off chance that there was a fatal accident on the aircraft. If the entire royal lineage was on that plane, it could be really bad for the royal family. So ever since then, the king or queen or their heirs were never allowed to fly together on the same plane, which means that the Queen, Prince Charles, Prince William, and Prince George should never all board a jet at the same time. However, in recent years, Her Majesty has relaxed this rule a bit because air travel has gotten much safer over time. In fact, in 2014, William and Kate were both allowed to take baby Prince George with them on a flight to Australia. And that has been the top 10 most shocking rules royals are required to follow. But before we get out of here, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled "Viral TikTok Exposes Prince Harry's Real Dad." Not really though. Seth freaking Rollins says his real dad is actually SpongeBob. Don't you know that? Yeah, I now know. Victoria Tooney says, people need to learn how genetics work. Red hair is a recessive gene. It could lay dormant for generations. Good lord, find something more productive to do with your time. I agree, I was simply reporting on it. Krishna Priya Menon says, as soon as they go against the royal family, miraculously the doubt about Prince Harry's parentage comes up again. It could be just the media again though, who knows. Definitely is just the media trying to stir more stuff up because his name is in the press. That's all it is. Danny Spoke says, to be honest, I think he looks way more like Charles than Philip. It's all in the brow bone, nose bridge, and bright pink cheeks. The ginger just comes from Diana, her sister was ginger. There you go folks, it's been solved. Johnny Flash 25 says, this new episode of The Royals is crazy. It certainly is, and don't forget to check out our new playlist as well called The Royal Tea. I'm just gonna be putting anything UK news and royal family news all in that playlist for you. But that has been today's video guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy YouTube.